All right. You guys have already met me up on stage. David Hardin with Cultivate Advisors. Our company, we walk the walk. We don't just talk the talk, right? So there's a lot of coaches out there that would be like, oh, well, I had one business, and let me show you how I did my one business. We've actually worked with over 1,000 business owners, 450 five-star Google reviews. We know what we're doing. We're still a small company. And when I say we walk the walk, not just talk the talk, we're actually growing our company as it goes too. So we not only teach how to do it, we're doing it ourselves. We're on path. We want to hit 50 million once we get to 2026. So this is how our company is growing. Me and myself, quick background. I am a lifelong entrepreneur. 25 years experience. I've owned 13 gyms throughout my career. I'm a minority owner in 7 different businesses. When I was 12 years old, I hired my first 2 employees. So I've just always been an entrepreneur. I got the consulting bug in 2012. I said, wow, I just paid to share my experiences, use my brain. This is great. Been doing this full time for the last 5 years. Just some accolades that I've been able to do. Startups, buying businesses that were failing, scaling business to 35 mil. So I've had the experience and know how to get out there. And all of us advisors at the company have similar backgrounds. So let's get into it. Agenda, I'm going to talk about 2 different business owners. I'm going to show you the difference of an average business versus best in class. Number 3, I'm going to teach you what best in class is, and I'm going to explain multiples, what we call business owner math. Desired outcomes, I want you walking away understanding the difference between an average and best in class business. I want you to know what I mean when I say business owner math. I want you to understand what that means versus enterprise value. And then all you are getting access to our free health and value assessment because you're a guest of Kelly. Kelly's my client, and we're giving it to her free. So you're going to be able to take this assessment, scan the QR code, and you're going to learn the health of your business. You're going to learn how much your business is worth. Estimated, it's a light valuation, not official valuation, right? So everybody gets access to that. So first we start, got to reset this. Well, I don't know how to reset it. It's the first time I'm using this piece, but it was really cool the last one to be like, hey, scan this and vote, right? So where do you believe the greatest value of your business lies in? Last group, they had it correct. Over 80% of your business, the value is in systems, processes, strategies, having leadership, sales skills, marketing strategies, right? What we call the intangibles, the things that are hard to measure versus the measurables, right? A lot of business owners, maybe because you're all educated, because you all come from team referral and you're a little bit better than average, a lot of business owners, they think that the value of their business comes into, well, how much revenue and how much profit? What's my EBITDA look like? How long I've been in business? That impacts your value of your business for sure. But 80% of your business, of the value of your business comes from the intangibles, okay? And I'll explain, you'll see when we go through. So every business owner at some point faces 3 big problems. You own a job, not a business, right? That's a big piece. Yeah, you have a business, but technically you own a job, not a business, meaning that you are the main person, right? If you stop, the business stops. That's, in my opinion, it's not a true business. It's still a business. Right? I'm not trying to say, hey, you got something bad. There's nothing wrong with that. But a business, it should not be tied to that. All your financial eggs in their business basket. If you're a business owner, you're not talking with a wealth manager, financial advisor, go find one. Because in the last session I was talking about, like, I know I could bank on myself, right? The market's returning 8%, 10%, 11% year over year for the last 20 something years, right? Okay, sure. I could bank on myself and get a 30% return, 40% return in my business. I know that I could crush it. But if something happens, like COVID, and my business goes away, and all my financial eggs are tied in that business, excuse my French, I'm fucked. Okay? So making sure you're able to diversify and have some other safety nets. Talk with a professional. And then third, we see this all the time, over-sacrifice in the business. Working 16-hour days, 7 days a week. Kids never see you. Wife's pissed off at you. You don't have a healthy work-life balance because you're just tied and stuck to the business because if I let off the gas, it's going to falter. It's not healthy. So we have met with 3 big possibilities. Business freedom, financial freedom, personal freedom. Business freedom. If you want to go on a 3-week vacation, the business is going to be fine. I got a client that for the first time, they own a Club Pilates franchise in Vegas. They just got back from a 3-week honeymoon, delayed honeymoon. When they got back, the husband was a little bit more confident going on the trip. The wife was a little bit less. So they just got back literally yesterday. I met with them yesterday. And I asked the wife, I said, did your business burn down? No. Members quit? No. I'm like, feels pretty good, doesn't it? She's like, yeah. Right? So to be able to actually enjoy life and not just be stuck to the business, right? My wife used to be a massage therapist, not her own business owner, just massage therapy. When she stopped working, her income stopped, right? That's not healthy for a business. Financial freedom, like I just mentioned, you have things transferred out, right? And you've got other places, where you're making money. And so in case something does happen to the business, you're not relying on it. And personal freedom, being able to live the life that you want to live, being able to have a healthy work-life balance. If you want to work 50 hours a week, sure. But if you don't, you shouldn't have to, right? That's what I want. That's best in class. Strive to get your business to work as much or as little on your business as you want to. So we're going to talk. The meat of this presentation is a tale of two owners. I'm going to show you business A, business B. Business A is an average business. Actually, business A is kind of average business, maybe a little bit below average business. Business B is almost like a perfect business. I've actually never seen a 95% score perfect business, but I want to show you what the difference is, okay? So business A, when we talk about financials, and this is everything that we're going through is what we work with, what we advise to. Like, this is not a sales pitch, but just letting you know what we do. So as we're going through business A, business B, most of you are going to land somewhere in the middle. So as I'm going through these, I want you to be thinking, is that me? And if it is, you need to address it to get to best in class. And I'll explain what best in class means. So you got no specific goals. You're just working more and more with no end in sight. No budget, no 3 to 5 year plan, no vision. Your company, your staff doesn't know the vision. You're just like, I'm gonna make more money. We're just gonna grow, see what happens. Owner doesn't know any of the numbers. In all my years of advising and consulting, I would say about 30 to 35% of business owners don't know their numbers. And I'm talking, business owners 23, 24 million don't know their numbers. What was your revenue last year? I don't know. What was your profit? I don't know. How do you know if you're successful? I got money to bank. That's not good. Yeah, just have money to bank. And that's a real thing, right? This is, margins are too low. Profit gap. You're looking at other businesses, and there's reports out there, and your margin's 6%, and the average is 15%. Big issue. And let me preface. When I say issue or when I say something negative about business A, if you resonate with that, don't beat yourself up. It's an opportunity, right? Especially when I meet a business owner, they say, "Yeah, I'm doing 1.5 in revenue, and my profit's pretty decent, and the health score is low." And the business owner, you see them kind of get like, "Oh man, there's a term, man, my baby's ugly. I just called your baby ugly." Yeah, I thought it was better. I'm like, no. You should be happy because you have an opportunity to make it even better, right? So if any of business A is you should get excited to be like, wow, this is an opportunity to improve and get better. Big one, owner uses the same credit card for personal and business. Don't do it. Not smart, not good. I spent 8 months with a client just untangling the web of all the financials because I couldn't tell how healthy the business was. And so it was like the cable here, imagine 50 of these all tied up. It took 8 months to separate all this stuff. It was a nightmare. And then any CPAs in here? Any accountants? There you go. Make sure that you're taking advantage of many tax codes. Not my specialty, but you should be chatting with one of these people. Opposite, clearly defined goals. Macro to micro, being able to break down the macro to micro. Okay, well, you know what? I want to get there in 5 years. What do you got to do year over year, quarter over quarter, month over month, week over week, even day over day? Making sure everybody is working towards a plan. Owner knows the numbers. Addison's here, my coworker. Our CEO, he's got a saying, cool kids know their numbers, right? Cool kids know their numbers. Making financially based decisions. I used to say you should only make financially based decisions, and I had one person in a seminar like this say, well, I disagree. Emotion is important. So now I've changed that to, emotions are good, absolutely, but back check with the financials, right? Go look at the financials. Do you have it in a budget? Don't just, I had a client, before she started working with me, 3 months before she started working with me, she opened up a second location. Then she started working with me. We took 18 months to get rid of that piece of crap second location because it wasn't a financially based decision. It was a horrible decision. 1.5 years to get out of it. Since then, her business has skyrocketed with one location because she didn't make a smart decision. Following the budget, owner's personal finance not intertwined with the business, and then for our accountants in here, taking advantage of tax codes and strategies. So again, it's already the results from the last one there, right? But I was asking people, so let me ask you this, just by raise of hands. Who does not operate their business and just say, I just want to make more and more money? I don't have a goal. Who does not have a goal for 2025 or even 2024? Nice, nice. Who has a goal, but you don't know how to get there? Raise your hand. Okay. Who kind of knows it, but it's not truly defined. Like, I feel like I want to do $1 million. A million sounds right. Right? Okay. Thank you. And then, yes, you have a document and you have strategy to get there. Oh, beautiful. Very nice. All right. And I expect good from your team referral, right? You guys have a little bit more involvement in your business. I expect nothing less from Kelly's company. But it's super important to know where you're going. We call it a roadmap, right? When I was in my 20s, all my business in my 20s, it was just, I got to make more money. Got to do more. I grew up hard poverty in South Side of Chicago. My dad worked 2 full-time jobs just to get us out of there, right? And so in my 20s, when I used to own gyms. I've had 13 gyms throughout my career and other businesses. When I had those gyms in my 20s, I hit a certain revenue target. I'm like, well, I just got to make more. Just got to do more, got to do more. And I was burning myself out 16-hour days, 7 days a week. There was no end in sight. My philosophy, I was telling Addison this earlier, bust your ass. If you got to work 80 hours a week, work 80 hours a week to a goal. Once you hit that goal, stop. Otherwise, 30 years go by. And we're like, shit, where did the last 30 years go by? And you're still busting your ass. And you're exhausted. That was my dad. My dad retired. He worked 2 full-time jobs for 30 years. He retired and he was like, wow, I'm an old man now. Like now he tries to have fun with life? Yeah, not good. So for those that don't know their goals or how to come up with the goals, a lot of people are like, sounds about right. Million sounds good. 5 million sounds good. Whenever I ask a client their goals and they say, yeah, I want 1 million or 5 million or 10 million, whatever it is, I always say, why? How'd you come up with that number? And most of the time, like, it just sounds good. Sounds like a good number. Other business owners look at trending. Well, we've grown 12% over the last 5 years, year over year. So let's just either continue to grow 12% or let's improve it. Let's go 15%. Well, what if you've been trending down for the last couple of years? Then what are you going to do? How are you going to come up with next year's number? Right? You're just guessing. Or what about this? Anybody ever heard a term called freedom point number? All right. It's a term that's starting to get a little more popular. So I'm going to show you how to come up with your freedom point number. First criteria, what income, not business, what income number do you need? First number, to have all your bills paid, have a nice house, nice car, paying for your kids' education, got some investments going on, right? So this is the exercise I want you to be thinking in your head. What is that number first? Then your true freedom point number is, well, what do I want to do? What's the life that I want to live? So for me, I'm a surfer. I want to have enough income every year to do what I want to do whenever I want to do it. If I want to buy a $1,500 surfboard, now I know I said earlier, make financially based decisions. That's with the business. But if I want to buy a $1,500 surfboard, I don't need to go consult with my wife. I don't need to go look at my bank, make sure I have enough money, right? I do what I want, right? To an extent. I have my toys, I take vacations, we go to nice restaurants. My wife and I looked at her credit card statements 2 days ago and we're like, shit, we went out a little too much last month. We should reduce that. But it's not hurting, right? It's just like, we need to be a little more smart, right? So that's first exercise. When you go home or later on today, think of that first number, right? So your monthly fixed expenses, what are all those numbers? Multiply it by 12. Then what does your ideal life look like? And I'm not saying, if your goal is to be, I need $50 million. Hey, fine. Most people's goals are just like, like with me. I want to have a second car. I want to have like a race car. I want to get like an old muscle car. I want to do some of that stuff, right? So I figure that out and I say, okay, well, this amount of income per year, I could do whatever I want whenever I want. So now, again, you guys didn't vote. The last group voted. Those who said, well, I kind of have this goal, but I kind of I don't know. It just sounds like a good number. Now you just do reverse math. If your number is $250,000, you look at your profit margin, and then you do the reverse math and say, okay, well, I need, in that scenario, if I got a 25% profit margin in my business, I need $1 million in revenue. Because that's going to give me my $250,000 that I need to live the life that I want to live. So now you have a formula to create your business goals. So I'm going to go through a little quick here. I'm just going to go with business B, showing you what a healthy business looks like. So on leadership, you can have a healthy business, but if you don't know how to lead, if you don't know how to motivate and delegate to your team, nothing's going to get done. You could have the best, you could hire outsourced marketing, but if you don't know how to lead your team, it ain't going to get done. So a leadership, owner works mostly on the business versus in the business. Owner can leave, this is a little productivity too, but owner can leave the business whenever they want for whatever period of time. The business doesn't skip a beat. I just mentioned to my client, again, husband and wife, to the wife, I'm like, business didn't burn down, did it? You're able to leave. The business was fine. You have a leadership team that they fully trust and could delegate major initiatives to. Raise a hand. Who has somebody on their team that you actually know I could trust and leave if I need to do something? A few of you? Very nice. And if you don't, you're stuck in the business. You are tied to it. It's not the best in class business. Your entire company understands the vision and buys into it. Everybody's rowing in the same direction. You have a strong onboarding program with clear expectations. That's a big piece right there. I talk to a lot of business owners and they'll be like, well, I hired somebody and they just should know how to do their job. I talk to the employees and they're like, I wasn't set up for success. When I have clients say, oh, David, I got to fire somebody, can you help me out? The first question I always ask, did you set them up for success? Now, you still may need to fire them because maybe too much time went by, but that's on you. That's not on the client. Company has a performance culture. They know their KPIs. They have individual goals. They know how they could impact the business. Every single person on staff knows that. The owner or leader possess strong communication skills and can navigate difficult conversations. We call it healthy conflict. That's a big piece there too. A lot of business owners, a lot of type A. Well, just do it. I don't understand. I hired you to do it. No, people are not going to react to that. So you got to be able to communicate with your team and share your vision and create buy-in. Company does not rely on business on key personnel or you as the owner. If you get hit by a bus, is the business still there? If somebody quits to say, I got a better job, are you screwed? Not best in class. And then I have a coffee mug that says this meeting is bullshit. I hate meetings for meetings for the sake of meetings. It could have been an email, right? You should be having meetings. You should have a mix of company meetings that share in vision and direction that people are like, wow, there's actually value in that meeting. Annual planning meetings, quarterly planning meetings, accountability meetings. Well, you all should be having development meetings for your staff. Every single person on your staff should have a sit down with their direct supervisor, says, hey, you're here. I think you can get here. Do you agree? Great. Let's put a plan in place to get you here. And in a year's time, your staff is completely different. Same people, but they're just much more skilled because you have invested the time into making them better. Sales. You have clear and defined sales processes. I can't tell you how many times talk to business owners. They're like, yeah, I kind of just, sometimes you get on the phone, sometimes it's LinkedIn, then we get on, I visit in person, blah, blah. What's your sales process? We call it next step selling as well, right? So you're going to buy a brand new car. If you call up the internet, but let's just pretend you're calling a car dealership. You call up the car dealership. They're not trying to sell you the car. All they're doing is next step selling. Come in and take a test drive. That's it. That's their number one objective, right? So what is your sales process and understanding? Don't try to sell something at step one. Follow the process. Measuring the process, knowing, okay, well, from step one to step two, I've got a 60% closing rate. It should be a little bit higher. So what needs to happen for you to improve your communication skills to improve that, right? And knowing all those different numbers so we can improve it. Sales goals are tied to the company's vision and budget. A lot of business owners I talk to, they set sales goals for their team. That does not directly correlate to the goals for the business. Sales team, motivated by money. Not every salesperson needs to be motivated by money, but the majority are. If they're not motivated by money, they're probably not going to bust their ass. The owner is not required to do sales. I've got some clients that they enjoy doing the sales, but they don't have to do it. If that's the case, you own a job, not a business. High show-up rates, high close rates, sales are predictable. Right? We want to hit 50 million by 2026. Well, we know down to the smallest micro, okay, well, we need to close 10 deals every month. We had a 10% close rate from the first step. So we need to talk to 100 people this month. You should know all these numbers and know, okay, well, if I talk to 100 people every single month, I close 10%. If I continuously do that for the next 2.5 years, we will hit our 50 mil. Okay? Marketing. You know your target audience. We call it your ICP, your ideal client persona. You know specifically who you're looking for. I don't want to say it's a pet peeve, but it's almost a pet peeve when a business owner says, well, everybody's my target. Well, when everything's important, nothing's important, right? So if everybody is your client, let's choose a certain demographic and put marketing strategies towards that first and see what happens. Then we try another one there, right? Having specific marketing strategies. Predictable lead flow. You understand the return of investment on the marketing. I think I asked, no marketing professionals in here? I was going to say, so I could talk shit about it? No. A lot of marketing companies, they kind of try to hide the ROI. Well, you hire a marketing company, it's for awareness, to build trust, or for leads, right, to grow your business. A lot of marketing companies will say, well, we got more clicks to your website. You got more likes on Instagram. Doesn't translate to dollars. You're not understanding your ROI. You have scheduled marketing campaigns. You're doing your annual planning, and then you say, okay, next year, for the Q1, we're going to do this type of marketing. It's predictable. I'm gonna go here. Even if referrals are strong, the company still has a marketing strategy in the background. 2 summers ago, it was random. 4 business owners in a row contacted me. They don't know each other. It was just random. 4 business owners in a row had the exact same problem. David, I've been in this business for 8 years, 10 years, 14 years, all the different there. I've built my business on referrals. I've never had to do marketing because I've always had a strong referral, leads coming in through referrals, through partnerships and people who know me, word of mouth. And they just stopped. And my business is doomed. Help me. Because they didn't have a strategy in the background. So I recommend you build a strategy. Talk with a marketing professional, talk with us. We can build a strategy. And even if you don't need it, if you have referrals, but at least it's there in the background, and you could just, if you need it, you just bring it to the forefront. All right, so these are best-in-class traits. Productivity. Owners working less than 40 hours a week, sometimes as little as 20. I have a question. I thought I had it here. You can work more if you want to work more. But if we could build a business where you don't have to work all the time, sounds pretty good, right? Hell yeah, it does. Everyone on the staff, including the owner, spend a majority of time on high priority, high impactful, thank you, high impactful initiatives. I think we all can get stuck into it where, let me give you a quick story. When I was in my 20s, I would create a to-do list. 50 things on my to-do list. I was at least smart enough to prioritize. The most impactful was number 1, least impactful was number 50. And for whatever reason, perfectionism, procrastination by perfectionism, or fear, whatever reason, I would do number 3 through 50, right? I would knock out 40 through 50 real, because that's like 5 minutes here, 7 minutes here, 10 minutes there. At the end of the period, week, month, whatever it was, I would have 48 things crossed off, and I'd be like, wow, what a successful month. Good job, David. You did 48 things on your to-do list. Number 1 or 2 still glaring. So I read a book called The Power of Less when I turned 30. The Power of Less, fantastic book. Short read, too. Now, I just focus on number 1 and number 2. If I don't do number 50, if I don't do number 40, nothing happens. You know what a lot of 40 through 50 was? Email. Addison doesn't really know us. Got it, thank you. Addison doesn't really know us because we don't have to email too much back and forth, but over the last 5 years, I have trained my coworkers. I'm not responding to your email. I'm not wasting my effing time on email. Email is the bane of my existence. 2018, I did an assessment on my email at a company where I was an executive, and I was averaging 18,000 emails a month sent to me and sending out 12,000 a month. I did the math. If I spend, I think it was 30 seconds per email, I was spending 22 hours a week on freaking email. So I've learned, if I don't do this, nothing happens, right? So I prioritize, and everybody in the company understands to prioritize and focus on the big picture items. When you complete number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 becomes number 1, number 2. So it's not like it's not gonna get done. Company promotes and celebrates a healthy work-life balance. A lot of business owners, people like my dad, crack the whip. Well, we got a goal to hit. Too bad. You got to work the weekend. Office space, right? Oh, I need you to come in on Sundays. Not good. People are not, especially nowadays, people are not going to last. Recruiting. In marketing, I talk about ICP, your ideal client persona. Same thing. You know who the person you're looking for, the ideal candidate. Traits, experience, whatever it is, and then you go find it. You have a systematic interview process. What that means is, I like to teach my clients to have a scoring system. So there's one scenario. I've got 10 people I've pushed through to the last interview, and I've got 3 open slots. And most people have the interviews, and at the end they're like, well, I really like this one. This one's got great experience, but not the best personality. This one's got better personality, but less experience. I think I'll go with this one. If you put a scoring system towards everything, 1, 2, or 3, do I like this person? 1, 2, or 3. Does this person have experience? 1, 2, or 3. At the end, you've got scores, and if you've got a total of 50 points, you hire the top 3 scores. That's a safe way to hire the best people. Okay? Has a succession plan. You know that if people leave, because if you get 3 years out of somebody these days, that's fantastic. All right, and so always knowing to keep an eye on that 3-year mark. Continue to go. How many hours a week? So who's in the 35 to 45 range? Not bad. Not bad at all. 25 to 35? There we go. 45 plus? Okay. A little stressful. I see bags under the eyes. Less than 25. Same thing as last group. That is best in class. I'm telling you right now, we've worked with thousands of business owners. That is doable in any industry. All right? I'm going to stop on this one here. This is the boring pieces. SOPs, training programs, documented. Well, it's in my head. Not good enough. What I want you thinking, it's a term exit ready. You may not think about selling your business anytime soon. But if something happens to you and somebody's got to come in and take over your business, will they know how to do it? So every one of you business owners, I want you thinking, if I gave my business over to somebody else, how easy will it be for them to take over without skipping a beat? If the answer is it's going to be damn tough, that's not a best-in-class business, right? So you should be spending time creating SOPs. I call it dummy proofing. I know maybe it's not politically correct anymore, but I don't care. It's called dummy proofing, right? Making sure every single process is documented. So I could hand it to somebody. Ideally, I'm training that person how to do it. But if I get sick and I can't be there, I say, hey, follow the steps. You still know how to do it, okay? I'm going to skip through a few of these. There's a little bit more of a longer, thank you, 10 minutes. Where owners get stuck, right? So most owners, you are the subject matter expert. You're a plumber. I'm a great plumber, right? You have a marketing company. You're a great marketing professional. Most business owners, they're not good at building systems. Typically, they're not good at leadership either. That's one thing you see all the time. Not good at documenting processes. Not doing kind of the boring work that I like to call it. It's important. That's at 80%. You're not good at training staff. You're not good at hiring people. You're just like, well, I hired you to do it. Just do it. We've either done that or it's been done to us. I talk to those business owners and they get frustrated. And they say, well, David, I got to fire somebody. And I'm like, did you set them up for success? Or I was talking about that. That's a big piece. But then you talk to the staff members, they're like, no, you hired me and then say, go have fun. Not good. Not healthy. All right? So that 80% rarely gets done. Okay? Or it gets done in a haphazard way, just half-assed. That's not transferable. All right, if I'm going to come in and buy your business, if you exit or something happens, someone comes in there and it's crap, I'm not going to give you much money for it. So the end result, most of the work that's critical to increasing the multiple doesn't get done. So you heard me say multiple. Let me explain. Anybody here know what I talk about when I say multiple of enterprise value? Couple shaking heads, couple people. Okay. So let's go back to that scenario of you need $250,000 a year. And your business is, let's say it's 25% margin, and your business is only doing $750,000. Business owner math is, well, I just need to increase my revenue by $250,000. Or I need to increase my profit percentage higher to get that $250,000. Or even better, I want to sell my business and I want to exit at $4 million. So to hit $4 million, I'm going to show you the formula in a moment. I just got to do more revenue and more profits. That's business owner math. Multiple math is we take the health score. We're going to take your health score. It's going to give us a multiple. And I'm going to explain that in a moment. And it's going to get your enterprise value. We're past 10 minutes, by the way. So they're giving me more notice. Thank you. So we're going to go here. So we're going to go here. I'm going to explain this multiple piece. So reminder, business A, business B. I showed you mostly business B. Same revenue, 1.6 mil. Identical revenue. Same profit, $320,000. Identical profit. Same growth rate, 10%. Exact same business when it comes to the tangibles. Health score, 45%, 95%. First off, if you're around here, come talk to me because I want to interview because I've never seen a 95%. Let me tell you this, first off, if you're all going to have access to this, and if your business comes out less than 50%, I'm sorry to say, your business is not sellable. You go to a business broker and say, hey, I want to sell my business, and your score comes under 50%, they're going to say, go do more work. Nobody's going to want to buy your business. Or there's going to be people who want to buy your business that are going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to buy the ugly baby because I know if I invest my time and some money into it, I get turned into best in class and I'm going to make a lot of money. But guess what? They're going to give you pennies on the dollar. You want to get out of your business and somebody's offering you, you think your business is worth $4 million and somebody's offering you $350,000, you're going to be like, you're crazy, right? So that piece there. Now let me explain. Let me show you. Business A, 45% score. Business A, I kind of skipped through a lot, but business A is like that unhealthy business, okay? No processes, owner's dependent, everything I just mentioned. Comes in a 2.89 multiple, it should be right here. Best in class is 6.3. So what we do is we take your health score, give you your multiple, 2.89. We take 2.89, we times your profit, and we get about 1 mil. There's a little bit extra, but this is simple math. So business A's business is worth 1 mil. This is a small business. This is $1.6 million revenue. Typically, if we're talking to $5-6 million businesses, that number would show $1 million, and best will show $6-7 million. We're talking millions of dollars. But in this scenario, small business, 95% score, almost best in class, 5.99, like pretty much right there. Again, same numbers. It's worth another $1 million. That's $1 million more in value. Now, I will say, and I'll finish up on this. This is all pretend money, because if you're not trying to sell your money, if your business is only worth what somebody's willing to offer you. So if you're not, or you may say, I don't want to sell my business. That extra $1 million, okay, it's hypothetical. But then it's this. You know what that means? That means you're working less than 25 hours a week. That means your profit is higher. That means you have strong teams. That means you have systems and processes. It means you got marketing strategy, strong sales. You have this well-oiled, beautiful machine of a business, and you live a great, healthy life. So even if you don't want to exit, still a damn good business. That's the best in class piece, all right? Exit ready gives you optionality. Exit ready also means best in class, which means more money, less work, less stress. This is the report that you will get. So you scan this QR code. Take you about 15 minutes to go through. You don't need to do it today. You'll get the results sent to you. Now, this is a gift from Kelly to everybody at the conference. That's step one. An additional gift, and you could choose to. We will give you some free consultants, some free advising to walk you through all of the information on this report. No strings attached. In that meeting, you will walk away with a roadmap. You are here, you want to get here. We will show you step by step, here's the roadmap to get here. You leave that meeting, you never talk to us ever again, you still have this roadmap. You know what you need to do to get to the best in class. And then here is a sales pitch. If you want help with this, that's where we come in. Any questions? Thank you. Yeah, no, it's good. Thank you, everybody. Again, just educating on what best in class looks like. And I use the phrase, I used to say your business could be this. I've changed my language in the last month. Your business should be this. Thank you very much.